All right, well, hello and welcome back as we get ready for the first game of three tonight, as we will see how this one goes. Now, let's start out. Once again, you can look at the season recaps here. Not that much to say about them, since again, they are last season, but you can kind of see how things went. Honestly, not that different overall, but that one extra win for Bedford, who are, of course, then at Deadwood, got them into the playoffs, where they then managed to make it to the top four. Looking at the schedule so far, of course, this is the first game of the week, and so we still have quite a ways to go in terms of games being played. Forgot to set up a couple of things in terms of my buckets, just had to change some settings, but we good with that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those go. And then, of course, nothing to really talk about with standings because no games have been played, and so there are no standings. Moving over to our stats, you can see our rosters. And as I believe was kind of known before draft, I do not believe Mers will be here. And so I think Wild Boy posted that he's going to be signing Breezy as a free agent for that. And so there you go. As you can look at our stats, of course, Z Bloom, Draco, Vaughn, and Bula not playing last season, so therefore not have any stats, but everyone else. So the other half, you can see their numbers in there. Of course, the team averages, once again, hardly matter, but you can see how the you can see how the formatting will go and, get an idea of how these teams performed last season again. As we are, of course, just waiting for everyone to get in here. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was kind of known, Defane, pre-draft, that Mers said he wouldn't be available for, like, the first month or something, which is basically half the season. I feel like that was kind of a known thing. And so we are just waiting, as we do have one team in waiting on the other one. And yeah, I'm interested to see how this one goes. They have no Mers, no Vaughn. There you go. But yeah, I think obviously, I think some people have a big question mark on Bedford and how they're gonna go. And so I think I'm interested to see how they play. But I think I still have to put them as fairly clear favorites in this one. Now, of course, if, say, they are struggling to play together, whatever, then absolutely, Wild Boy and typically Mers, but of course this week Breezy, could definitely be a pretty good duo with then Bula or Vaughn to be that third man on the team. But I feel like KC as a roster are kind of too top heavy, that it feels like they have Mers and then a bit of a gap and then Wild Boy, and then obviously he took two of the bottom 5 rated players. And so that could be a salary steal. But I mean, hard to say, I just think I like where Bedford are at. Now, as you see someone pointing out in the chat as well, might not have Frighten for this series for Bedford. Now, he is in the call at least, not in the first game as far as people in the lobby so far. And so we'll see about that. As again, we are just waiting for... Well, I mean, he's subbing Breezy for Mers. That's not cheese. That's a sub down, as is legal. I mean, to be fair, when you're missing Mers, subbing literally anyone is legal, because Mers is the highest rated player. But If you're missing your number one, then signing someone who's worthy of being your number one is legal. Like, that just makes sense. Currently, all 4 Bedford players are in their call, and it is currently not Frighten who's in game. So the other 3 are Draco, Bloom, and Lynx. And we are just waiting on Casey to get themselves into the game. They are all in their call, and the sub has gone through. Yeah, I mean, like, literally, the rule they put in place this season, which is fair, is that you can't one day for someone higher rated than a player you're replacing. And so, of course, for Prism, that's more clean because you're missing 1 player. You just got to get someone equal or lower. Pixel, since you're missing 2, then they need to be lower than at least 1 of them. And so, yes, you can frame it as subbing someone higher instead of Vaughn, but at the same time, also missing Mers. And so, really, he's subbing for Mers, which is what makes it legal. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing weird about that one day, nothing like that. And I'm interested to see how it goes, especially Breezy, a name that I think certainly has been a mainstay in the Pixel League. Interesting to see him fall undrafted, so I'd like to see how this one goes. Now, I don't think I ever said an actual score line, as we do now have most of everyone in. Waiting on 1 player to load who is now in, so that means we will get things started. Now, I don't just want to predict a 3-0 again. I'm going to say a 3-1. The chat, like Pit Cop, for example, has been one of the resident ball knowers, I'd say, in terms of the community, putting in a 3-2. I think that's possible. I just need to see the fight from KC, especially now coming in with a one-day roster they haven't played with as much, and rating-wise is still a downgrade from Mers, who has been in the MVP conversation, and it's not going to be the strongest start because Z Bloom already a goal on the board 6 seconds in. It bounces down, he snipes the bottom right corner, and it's already 1-0. And so that's the battle we're going to need to see come through. KC coming in as underdogs, need to find the rotation, need to find their way forward. But already playing from behind here as Wildboy will get a good flick downfield. Now this one out off the back wall. Lynx a good touch forward. Bula's already there. He'll bang it to the back wall. High, awkward bounce. Breezy will play it, but can't control it. And Draco will get it the other way. Another dunk by Draco there. Now Wildboy left awkward, and it's taken by Lynx. Lynx around the corner, but Breezy there to send it out again. Much better run of play here for KC, but at the end of the day, nothing really towards net. And now they're just trying to break out again. Good clear there, though. Breezy up into the corner. Awkward touch by Z-Bloom, pushes it forward, but Draco will get there to get it away, and the second touch to get it past midfield. Bula now only a light touch. Bloom, though, not quite going to get that touch. Does get a pass out of it, but Lynx can only go sideways. They'll look for a 50. Will beat Breezy. Draco now almost gets by Wildboy, but it is Wildboy to squeeze it just past the middle of the field. Breezy now a high touch away. Lynx just drops it low under him. Draco choosing to be patient, but Bula's not going to hit it. Breezy now last back. Loses out on the 50, and Draco makes him pay. 2-0. The 50 goes awry, a little bit too aggressive for KC, and no one is left to defend. Already 2-0. Pretty decent run of play, as we mentioned there, for Kansas City, as they did get a couple clears downfield, did make Bedford start to look a little bit awkward, but really just not able to get enough off it. And so then as soon as the momentum turns, one overcommit right back in their net, and now they're down by multiple. So although a strong clear by Breezy here could fall down, but Draco gets in the way. Wildboy trying to loop it over the defense as they do get a bit awkward, but it will be Bloom to push it to the side wall. Now high towards the middle. Breezy will kill it in place. Lynx trying to get the touch away. Will get it past midfield. Now Bula to take it the other way. Going high, but the shot falls low. And it's another clear out to the side. Breezy now a shot. It's off the post. No one able to follow it up. Draco, ceiling pinch, pushes that one down. Wildboy now bringing it down on the dribble. Tries for the flick. Won't get a whole lot with it. The bump will help it. Still wide. Shot is saved again. Bula tries, but the defense is there. And it's gonna be an overcommit the other way. Z Bloom makes it 3. Another almost. But another the other way. KC are really fighting. You could see the windows, but it's just not there. The shots aren't quite threatening enough, not quite perfect enough. And Bedford are just simply ready for it. That one a little bit strong. See Bloom just going to play it out to the other corner. Awkward touch by Wild Boys. He'll get beat by 1. Second beat as well. Make it 3. Lynx gets goal 4. That's his first of the series as the manager gets involved. The pass out. The far post shot perfectly nestled in the corner. No one able to get the save. And with 2 minutes to go, it is a rout here on the Manfield. Bouncing away from the back wall. Wildboy flicks by 1, but Z Bloom still back. Shadowing into the corner, waiting to play it, but instead it's Draco. It's a good attempt at a center, but a little bit too telegraphed. And the defense quick to respond as now Bedford surge forward. Looking for the touch forward, but it's 50'd away by Wildboy. Breezy now low boost, plays it right into Draco. And Draco! The dunk for his second. And Bedford have 5. Similar to the center, Breezy trying to get it away, but it's just the obvious option. Draco, a well-done pre-jump as well. Huh. Okay. That play didn't quite work. As Draco fakes, and no one stays back. So it just kind of goes in. Bloom cheats hard, and then ends up turning to the side, so it gets by him. Lynx going to the corner boost. And there's no one to protect. And so there is goal number 1 for KC. They will not get shut out. Little bit of a head scratcher there. Maybe getting a little bit too confident, but when you're up by 4, they still have plenty of room to go. As Lynx drops this one up into the corner. Looking for a bump, won't quite find it. Wildboy now gets it by them all. See Bloom pops it up in the air, now he'll get removed. Bula trying to race in. Draco, though, instead plays it across, and Lynx can get it all the way downfield. Looking for the read. It's only into the corner, but that'll waste a little bit more time. Breezy now the clear. Wildboy not going to get the redirect, and so it'll fall cleanly for Z Bloom. And now this one controlled and 50'd, and it'll go all the way back to the orange corner. 30 seconds left to go. Still only 4 goals left to make up for KC, and I don't think it's gonna happen because Bedford won't allow it. A dominant first game here, and it's pretty clear we're gonna need a little bit something more from Kansas City. Less defensive lapses, more on offense. Of course, their only goal coming from a botched kickoff play. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bedford, a lot of their goals just kind of taking advantage, you know? I mean, like it was an even run of play, and then we'd see an overcommit and a goal go through. I mean, they only outshoot by 2, 7-5, and yet they outscore 5-1. That is simply not the conversion rate you want there if you are Kansas City. Just shows that, I mean, you could say good shooting for Bedford, but overall what that really means, Bedford either had easy shots or had shots that you really can't miss, like an open net. Or that they're just really good at shooting, but, you know, probably the less likely option. Meanwhile, for KC, 5 shots, and really none of them, of course, I'm sure their 1 goal did count as a shot, but really none of them making their way through into the net. And now, as if it couldn't get worse, Bedford gonna make the switch. They'll put in Frighten. So I believe this may be the main roster. Of course, we'll see how it plays out with Lynx filling into the squad as the season plays out, but clearly a change, feeling confident. But how about that from Wild Boy? And that will be the first lead for KC. Breezy the pass forward. Wild Boy, a pretty clean shot. Of course, Draco did have a chance to get a piece of it. Probably could have pushed it to the side, but strong shot like that, it's easy to panic. And it just skips off his car, still into the net. And so the Foxtrotters will get a chance to play from in front here. But for how long? Because Draco won't get it on target. Frighten moving in, Breezy to turn it the other way. Playing a 50, will get the cut, it'll pop across. Wild Boy racing in, and it is in. 2-0. There are 3 games tonight, Pit Cop, all in a row, basically. As there's the pass out by Breezy, the shot right side by Wild Boy. Now up by 2. Now it's Breezy off the right wall again. Frighten trying to get it forward. Bola around the corner. Wild Boy dunks down off the ceiling, but Breezy's ready for it. No boost for Wild Boy to look for a shot, but now that's an awkward touch by Frighten. Draco's awkward. Double commit on the defense. That touch should be enough to buy them some time. Now this one bouncing up in the air. Frighten looking for a shot. Breezy will play it out to the side. Draco now around. This one dropping in. Frighten is there, but it dings off the post, and we stay 2-0. Now up towards the ceiling again. Z-Bloom looking for the 50 down, but it'll instead get played out to the other side. Now played forward. Bula high in the air. Draco looking for the play down. Big pinch across. Frighten. Well. Huh. Huh. Well. It was a clean one. I might know who Mafia is, but I think we vote at the end of the game, so we'll get to that. But it's just another goal for KC. End of the day, it's 3-0. Regardless of how it happened, who gifted it, whatever, unlike the goal last game, where it was 5-1, and that 1 goal didn't really mean much. In this one, Bedford are already down 2-0. Now it's 3. And that already big lead just looks that much harder to overcome. But, of course, 3 minutes left to go in the game. Plenty of time if they can find their footing. But Bedford looking a lot more awkward this game. And I think there really is something to be said that even if this is quote-unquote your main roster, which, as I said, we will see how that plays out, any sub carries some level of risk. Because, I mean, obviously, if you feel like you're putting in a better player and you just blew this team out, you feel like you should just do it again, maybe more. But Rocket League has variance. There's back and forth. And even just putting in a different player can change the play style and change the momentum and allow that window back in. And so we'll see how the rest of this game plays out, as so far starting to look a little bit scary here for Bedford. As KC look poised to tie up the series, but again, a lot of time still to burn off that clock if they're going to do so. Another win here by Bula. Gets it off the back wall. No one able to play it quickly, but not forced to. As Draco eventually just takes control, dribbles it all the way downfield, steals a boost, and now Bedford look to set up. But not sure how long it'll last because Wild Boy already has it down into the blue final third here. Breezy racing in. Doesn't have the boost to get there, but a couple bumps will open up some space for Bula. He'll pop it up, but it's right into Bloom. Z-Bloom down. Breezy the save, and now bumped off it by Bula. That'll break up the organization here for KC as Breezy needs to get up again, but he does so cleanly. And it's another clear out for the Foxtrotters. Draco now into the corner, brought down by Bula. Draco 50ing it across. Bloom in the air. He's got it. 3-1. Once again, Bedford, the team down, will fight back. We will once again not have a shutout. And now with a minute to go, there is still time. KC can't give the window because it is a little bit cracked. As Bula tries to race onto this one, he will get it across, but no one's there for a shot. Wild Boy trying to catch up, plays it back forward. Draco trying to slow it down. Bloom will take it in the end. See, Bloom now gets the midfield, looking for control, cuts to the side, steals the corner boost as well. Breezy will get it out to the side. Low boost on him, but he will get a decent play. Frightened though, turning. Breezy needs a touch, and he's got it. This one will recenter awkwardly, though, as Z-Bloom is there. Strong shot. They can't get it. Back within one. 3-2. Bloom has his second of the game. Bula, a little bit too flat-footed, stops his momentum before he jumps. And he can't get enough behind it. Kind of like KC's first of the game. It skips off the defender and in. And now we have a game. 20 seconds to go. Breezy not able to ice it there as it's saved by Z-Bloom. 3v1, but they misplay it. One goes for a bump, one goes straight forward. The shot goes behind both as it's actually a pass. And there will not be another chance as Breezy puts it through. And KC do tie the series. A little bit harder than you'd like, maybe, as Bedford gave them a run for their money. But they hold on, and they equalize it 1-1 after 2. Now, it obviously was a pass. I mean, I see the vision. I don't hate it, as pretty even in shots. 4-6, still in favor of Bedford. And so this time, kind of the opposite of the last game. KC take 4 shots, and they get 4 goals. So just shows a difference. Less not meaningful shots. Just having more impact out of that. But second time we've said that, Lemon. But, I mean, yeah, that last play, it's tough. I see the vision. I mean, if you're the players leading, you feel like, if I get this demo, it's an open net. And so they're racing ahead, trying to remove the goalie. Meanwhile, the person on the ball is thinking the defense is going to expect a shot, and so I should look for a pass, and my teammate can get a straightforward shot to beat that last defender. But the problem is, those comms don't work together. And so that's where you just need communication and trust that someone needs to call their decision and someone else needs to react. Someone needs to wait back to be ready for the pass, or they just need to take the shot or whatever. As, while we're talking about that, there's a game going on, and it seems a tradition of the series. We need to have some awkward goals. As Bula backflips into it, it rolls kind of off his car, skips off another defender, and just kind of centers. And so there's goal 1 for Bedford. Definitely a much stronger start. And by the way, we are running back the Game 2 roster, so Frighten's still in, although he is now in an Octane. Draco now trying to control, centers it. That beats a couple, but Wild Boy with a good clear away. Breezy now chasing it down, gets a demo, but gets turned off the ball. Wild Boy playing it towards the net, just wide, and Z-Bloom will play it across. Bula now pinching it forward towards the corner again. No one really there for Bedford, but eventually Frighten does get there and gets a good 50. As now he'll get a bump as well. Frighten was low boost, but now he steals the corner. Will eventually have to leave it, but he gets a demo for his troubles as Wild Boy, no boost, struggling to get much on this. Draco now roughly centered, but that dunk might hurt, as instead plays it back the other way. Frighten the pass across. Draco, maybe an accidental side flip. Does turn into a good catch, but he won't be able to shoot. Tries to leave it, but KC are equal to that one. I think the most notable part of play so far is that it has been very Bedford-centric, and it's gonna work out. Frighten This time on the right net. Receives the pass from Draco, shoots it right over Bula, and doubles the lead. I think if you look at game number 2, of course, KC start hot, getting 2 goals pretty quick, but then they really control the pace of play. Bedford were awkward, and it felt like KC kind of forced them into that. And then, of course, that kind of results in more wasted possessions for Bedford, less possessions for Bedford, and more opportunities to get goals for KC. But so far in this one, we've seen more of a regression towards that first game where KC spent a lot of the game trapped in their half. A lot of their breakouts are kind of half chances, looking for a center that no one's there for. And Bedford move downfield, get the real threat, and get a pretty easy shot. But just like the last game, more than half of the game left to go here as this one's forward. Z-Bloom will catch it down to his corner. Draco gonna let it go for now. Breezy might have been a shot. Looked more like a pass in the end, but no one there to receive it either way. Z-Bloom down to the corner, thinking about a double. Breezy with a good touch takes it away. Low boost for Draco, but he gets there in plenty of time. Wild Boy now straight up towards the ceiling, and another clear comes through from Draco. Down off the corner, it'll bounce away again. Draco up in the air, Z-Bloom is on it. Demo's threatened by Frighten, none will be found as Bula now, honestly a pretty smart play there. He keeps it low to the ground and beats the attacker. This one though could be scary, down off the back wall, no one able to jump. Z-Bloom is there. The shot is on target. No one jumps to block it, and Z-Bloom makes the lead 3. And it's not looking good for KC. This one's pushed over to the corner. Breezy playing it out to the side again. Wild Boy, the catch downfield, looking to get under it, looking for the shot. But you hear the ring, and you see the goal stay at 0. A good idea, but the flick just a little bit too strong. Can't stay on target. And the shutout remains. Now, of course, in each of the first 2 games, the team getting it blown out did manage to get one on the board. So we'll see if KC can keep that going and get something back. But either way, still some time on the board, although it is starting to run down. Good shot there by Wild Boy, but not a lot of power on the final touch. And so it's an easy save, as that is gross. You just can't do that. Z-Bloom gets the big clear, waits behind it. He's going to shoot. No, he is not. Waits for Breezy to flip right by, then plays it in. And it is 4-0. Bloom playing confident. And that's a bad sign for Kansas City. Now this one's up towards the ceiling. Draco trying to play it away. Now back down again. This one out towards the side. It's in by Frighten. And just like that, it is 5-0. And it continues to just get worse. I mean, yeah, this one's over. It is 5-0 with 45 seconds to go. And they are simply not getting back into this one. It's kind of just that simple. Bedford, they have that rough game. They have that one that we say they need to bounce back from. And the end result is that they bounce back. They put up 5, much more similar to game 1. They, this time at least so far, haven't given up any. And yeah, I mean, just a rough game for KC. As we said, really just couldn't get anything going. And so as the time runs down, final 10 seconds here, Bula looks for something, but Draco is there. Wild Boy will have a chance to slow this down. He'll pop up, but Draco is right there on him. He'll get the dunk away. Clock strikes 0. The shot falls short, but you only care so much because it is match point for Bedford. The first shutout of the series. I believe that was 10-5 in shots and 5-0 in goals. A very strong showing for Bedford here, as I didn't update the series score. Okay. There you go. Instead of highlighting and turning the 1 into a 2, hold. As someone tried, so the third for Casey tries to join. But we are just going to have to keep running it as is. Because because you don't have a full squad, and so then you can't go back and sub in a player from your team that wasn't there. So obviously subbing out Breezy, subbing in Vaughn, which is what would have happened there, would be a downgrade. That is a sub down, obviously. But you still can't do it. So, no, because Vaughn wasn't there. Vaughn wasn't in the call until I'm guessing right now. Lynx, I'm pretty confident what happened is they subbed because they didn't have Vaughn or Mers. And then game 3, Vaughn, who was late for whatever reason, shows up and they think, okay, now we have our team, so we should stop using our 1 day and go to our main roster. But as the chat's saying, as I'm saying, once you do the 1 day, you lock in that those players aren't there, and so you just gotta stay with your 1 day. And so that's why we do have Breezy back in, as Draco starts the game pretty confidently with a crossfield carry, and that's goal number 1. Nothing already for Bedford, as Draco isn't done, but Wild Boy able to keep that one away. Right, now trying to play it back in, it's off the bar. The classic. Yeah. I mean, you could make an argument that if they had everyone in their call and then they're making a sub anyway, yeah, maybe that's a rule break. But, I mean, he wasn't in the call, and if they were trying to sign Breezy as an illegal sub because they had their full roster, I don't think they would take out the 1400 rating to put in the 1000 rating. So obviously we haven't seen Vaughn play, but that just seems like they were thinking, okay, our roster just now got here, we should go to that. But that's not how the 1 day works. As anyway, of course, we do have game 4 underway here, and Bedford are trying to close out the series. And so let's see how it goes. Already that 1 goal on the board, and already looking a lot more similar to those first and third games, as it is pretty clear control here. With already, as we said, that 1 goal on the board, and then just possession firmly in favor of the blue side. Although this one will get a little bit awkward, bouncing in front, and it'll be Frighten who needs the long clear. Yeah, once you start playing with a 1 day, you can't stop playing with that 1 day or bring in another player. Like, even, you can tell that they were thinking, okay, teams here we should play, because Breezy's the one who left. They didn't change out another player because, oh, we just have Breezy on our roster for this game or something. So, yeah, that's just how that goes. You sign a 1 day because you don't have your roster, and so once the game starts, you can't go back on it and then have someone from your roster join. But that's enough of that. We're just repeating the same thing, obviously. Nothing wrong happened. They just had to be told, and we're good. That's an awkward touch by Frighten, but Draco's there in plenty of time for the save. Now up towards the ceiling, Draco trying to win it forward. This one towards the back wall. It's a little wide. Can't quite get the double either, but still the pressure will build as Z-Bloom gets another 50 forward. This one now cleared downfield, but Frighten sends it back the other way. Bula the catch down. Draco there first. Big clear forward. Frighten waiting in the corner. Draco to take it first. But a good save by Wild Boy. Bloom now waiting behind it. He'll pop it up off the sidewall again. I'm still thinking 3-1. I kind of wasn't expecting that second game from KC. That was surprising to me. I was maybe leaning more towards a 3-0, but, you know, I was thinking KC can probably find a game, and they sure found their game. But, of course, as the time starts to tick down further here, it's really not looking good for them. Now, one shot could change it as Breezy looks for a pass, but again, no one there, no one with boost. But it really just feels like KC just kind of outpaced, outpressured in this game. Not going to get enough done. As Bloom tries to knock that one down. Now Bula the clear downfield. This one played over to the side. Wild Boy trying to track it back. Now around the outside. Looking for a touch. Not going to find a whole lot on it. Now down off the ceiling. Frighten loses the 50 to Bula. Now Bula following it up again. This one dropping down. Missed by Draco. Wild Boy tries. It's off the post. And Breezy is there. There you go. There is your one. And it's all tied up. The pressure builds. Breezy finally gets a shot. And we are even with 1 minute left to go. Now this 150 straight up in the air. Frighten trying to get there. It's on. Bula saves. Bloom down off the ceiling. Demo on the goal line makes things awkward, but Draco won't get a piece of it. Now Frighten left alone. Early dive gets the 50 and eliminates a lot of the threat. Bloom now high across again. Gets a demo as Frighten will look to recenter. Wild Boy up. Draco is too, but instead it's a shot and a save. As it plays out to the corner once more. KC are really starting to get trapped, but they are holding on for now as Draco gets another shot, and Bula there once again. Wild Boy now the low shot, or the low clear rather, as Frighten will turn a bit of a higher one down into the orange half, but it's responded to by Breezy as he'll get a demo as well. Bula up high across, looking for a center. Frighten blocks it down. Clock shows 0, still ball in the air. Still in the air, but this one should fall. And we have overtime here in game number 4. Bedford still 1 away from closing things down with a win. Meanwhile, KC looking for 1 goal to send us the distance in the first Pixel game, but that demo will be the difference. A big goal line demo opens it up, and Bloom gets it through. It will be a 3-1 Bedford win. Of course, no point in showing the stats because you can see the 12 shots for Bedford, all of KC already gone. But that is a good way to end it for Bedford. They don't need to go to Champions Field. They don't need to battle anymore as they just about close it out. As we are going to see if we're going to have an interview with the winning team. As always, still not that much to talk about, but hey, we can see how they're feeling after it. And I do have a yes, and so we will be back in just one moment for an interview. And we are back with the winning Bulldogs. How's it feel to already have a win on the board?
Feels expected. Feels expected. You know, nothing against the other team. They played a great game. I understand that their #1 overall pick, Mers, isn't there to play for them. But regardless, it's still a W under our belt. Get a little bit of confidence. Feels wonderful. And to be quite honest with you, you know, Mers is pretty washed anyways. So I think we were going to take the dub
You're not
regardless.
washed.
Elmers would have lost with Mers anyway.
Yeah, facts.
I think drafting Mers is kind of crazy considering he's not playing for a month. And they just didn't have a chance without Mers, let's be honest. And Breezy was not playing well. It was just not a good emergency sub. That they tried to sub Vaughn back in with good reason. Vaughn's probably one of the best 1,000 rated players in the league. Let's be honest, like without Mercer, it's just free for us. We kind of knew we were gonna win.
Fair enough. Now, first question moving forward. Frighten, what happened in game 2? What?
So what happened was I have cold hands, just got done eating. I was not warm. And you know what? I was like, why don't we start the season off with a negative goal? I don't think anyone's ever done that before. I just wanted to be the first in history in, 8-bit to start off with a negative goal on my stat sheet. I thought that'd be pretty cool.
That is inspirational.
And honestly, it is okay because I said bang as I did it. So
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now, wider question for the whole team. What was so different in game 2, and then how did you guys refine it for game 3?
I think it was simply because Frighten just wasn't warm, and the rotation just wasn't there right off rip.
I agree.
Once Frighten got warmed up game 2, everybody started playing better. It kind of locked the whole team.
Fennec, bro. Fennec on laggy ping is the worst thing ever.
Fair.
Yeah, Draco's been playing on hotspot tonight, unfortunately, so he's been on 50 ping.
Yeah, this isn't my full potential, guys.
Uh-oh.
I was cooking, but
we had to donate a game. We had to donate a game.
Fair.
Frighten's little tummy was full because he just got done eating. He was just sitting there scarfing his food down during game 1. He was not warm at all for game 2.
Now, last thing I gotta ask, obviously kind of hard since you guys are the first game of the season, but you guys do play Madison next week. At least just based on expectations, how do you feel about that one?
Who's on Madison again?
Yeah, I have to check the roster.
I believe that is Panda, Honda, and then Bran the Dan and Shade. Yes.
I will say that them being on a team already with the amount of chemistry that they have, I know obviously I was with Honda and Panda for 2 or 3 games last season on Erie. I can say that they are a really good duo. I can't speak for their third. I can say it's going to be a really good game. I don't know who or what way it's going to go to, but either way, I think Bedford Bulldogs still have it in the bag regardless.
For sure.
8-1 prediction at the beginning of the season. We're going 9-0, baby.
What did you expect this to be the loss?
Hey, you never know, man. That first week can be rough for some teams.
That's fair.
What I could say from scrims is if we match Honda's speed, we can beat them. Panda's like pretty solid on the whole field, but and Brand's pretty fast too. But their main carry is Honda, and if we can stop him from controlling the ball and match his speed, we'll win the series handedly. That might be a challenge though, because he is fast.
Nope, yeah, he's getting stuffed by Father Fright.
I know that I can match his speed. It's just a matter if I can calm well enough to not mess up my team when I'm cutting rotation to match him. And also if we can rotate well, that should help match him as well.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's all I have for you guys. So congratulations on the win and good luck next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. You have a wonderful night, Doggo.
Thanks, Doggo.
Thanks, Doggo.
You as well. All right, and that will do it for our first game of the night as Bedford are going to close things down with a 3-1 win. It gets a little shaky in the middle, but every other game was clean. And so that does it for our first game, as I said. And next up, we're going to have the Daytona Coastline Control up against the Denver Apex. That game kicks off at 9:30. So stream will be back live in about 5 minutes. We hope to see you there. But your final score here one last time, Bedford 3, KC 1. We'll see you in a couple minutes.